Surprise, surprise, it's back. Yeah, boy. You thought we wasn't gonna have it? Nah, dog. We got it. We found the workaround. StreamYard tried to take us out, but we ain't let no baby.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and DRose.
Yes, they tried to take us out, but we came back. I found the workaround. Got your StreamYard. And I ain't telling you how I do it either, because you ain't taking that one away from me. But we found the workaround. We got the intro back, DRose. I should probably make a new one. I should probably update it, but we got it back. Welcome everyone to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. DRose is on that cyber screen. We appreciate you for stopping by and hanging out with us right over here on the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast here tonight. If you guys don't mind, treat that like button like Derek Lewis treated Taliesin Teixeira this past weekend, if you don't mind. But yeah, with that being said, D-Rose, how are you doing, my guy? I haven't only seen you for like a few days now, but you know, how was your vacation? As Antoine is asking in the chat, I just now saw it. And you know, anything going on this week, dude?
Yeah, no, everything was great last week. We just, spent plenty of time at the beach, made sure we got plenty of time in there, got plenty of food up there as well, explored a couple of the different food scenes and stuff, made a Dave and Buster's trip. We don't get too crazy, but they just, the kids love being in the time. So, and to be completely honest, I'm completely content with doing that as well. So, yeah, had a good time. Oh,
What's up?
Am I there? Okay. I thought I was losing connection there for a second. My apologies, but
you're good.
But
man.
no, yeah. Basically, I had a really good time. Getting settled back in is always the worst part of getting back from vacation. It's like getting back into your normal life routine, getting back into working and stuff. You're like, dude, how can I make this vacation stuff a lifestyle? Like, of course, everybody would love to do that, but back to the grind,
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I feel you. Not something any of us want to do is, work. But hey, we gotta. There's bills, and somebody's got to pay them. They ain't gonna pay themselves. Yeah. We ain't in Canada.
That would be awesome if they did.
Yeah. Anyway,
I gotta learn how to make an income while being on vacation the whole time. Like that would just be ideal.
That would be nice, D-Rose. Let's get into the chat real quick before we get into the show. We got Lush in here, another Golden Wednesdays with the boys, feeling blessed on Max's Fight Week. D-Rose, Lush, I don't want to say too much, man, but Lush is a trooper, dude. Lush DM'd me earlier. He's got some shit going on in life. So everyone, sends out your prayers and thoughts to Lush, dude. Lush, you are the man, dude. Just keep your head up, dude. Just I don't want to put too much out there, but you are a trooper, dude. You are a trooper, man. Moving on, we got Dave ordered a fight poster for the man cave. Oh yeah, this fight poster is pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Have you seen it, D-Rose?
I thought I did, but I might need a refresher on it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
It has all the names, that they fought and beat behind them.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty sweet. I mean, I don't think it's the coolest one I've seen, but I like the yellow and black play on it as well. So yeah, no, it is pretty sweet.
Fair enough. What's going on, Antoine? How you doing tonight, man? Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's pretty cool. How you doing though, Antoine? We got Austin in here. What's up, everyone? How you going, Austin? Lush is here. Here we go. Everyone. Favorite fight of the night, as always. We so much to talk about. How was y'all's weekend? Yeah, it was fun. Rained a lot more than I wanted it to be honest, but it is what it is. And Lush, keep the chin up, brother. Okay. With that being said, let's get in. Okay, here we go. Lush, pop back up here. Still here, can't complain. Nothing but positive vibes over here. Okay. Austin. Let's see, those Demolidor superfractors got pulled. Jesus. Anyway, let's get into the show. So real quick, we will recap this past weekend's UFC Nashville. I should probably pull it up, but as always, I don't have it ready. But main event this past weekend was Derek Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira. Yeah, that lasted what, 35 seconds into the first round, dude. That's absolutely wild. Me and you both were on fucking Derek Lewis. It was the fisting of the week, and it cashes again, dude. As the dog, too. As the dog would have been like a plus 340 just by knockout, dude. Shout out the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. I saw a few people maybe complain about the stoppage. He was. Teixeira was using both his hands and picking himself up off the ground. You either stop the fight to take a point, and at that point he recovers, or the fight's over. It's either knockout, DQ, or, knockout. Either way, there was Taliesin was kind of done for, kind of complaining a little bit, but what undefeated fighter don't complain when he loses his, first fight, so I don't really know what else there is to say on the main event, man.
I love the way that Derek Lewis did the kind of eye thing too. He ends up eating the punch, and you could say the thumb
doing the Iwan Kutalaba
a little bit. It kind of did a little bit, but no, it that was definitely as you said, the Iwan Kutalaba, playing possum. And you drawing Teixeira in there for the big left hook, and I'm with you. I thought the stoppage was completely fine. I saw a comment when I was looking online about the fight, and there was people saying that Taliesin Teixeira looks like he was rock climbing when he was climbing up the side of the cage like that, just because the way his hands were so dug into the cage. It's dude, I had no problem with the stoppage because of that, because I think he wouldn't have stood up if it wasn't for that. And honestly, the ref, should it be in his mind that I think that result would be what it would be anyway? No, it shouldn't be in the ref's mind. But if I'm being honest, I think Derek Lewis is just going to rain more bombs on the fence until he falls out cold. So, you take the fighter's safety into account on that, and I thought it was a good stop.
Antoine, do you think Jason Herzog's starting to slip as a ref? Social media was outraged on Saturday night. I think maybe social media will pick the favorite to win, but I personally think Jason Herzog tends to let fights go on a little bit longer than they need to. So him being quick to stop that, I think it was fair, to be honest.
Yeah. And let's be fair here. Why is Jason Herzog being the ref that is reffing the heavyweight fight between the two biggest dudes on the card? Because let's be fair here. When Taliesin Teixeira put his hand up and put it on Herzog's face, it covered up his whole head. Taliesin Teixeira could have gripped Jason Herzog's head like a basketball. That's not the guy who needs to be in there for the heavyweight fights. But nonetheless, I still think he's a pretty good ref though.
Indeed. Moving on down, Gabriel Bonfim, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Robbery, no. However, I thought Wonderboy won the fight. I know you picked Bonfim and you thought Wonderboy won the fight. At least at the end of the fight, you're like, I think Wonderboy probably won that, just with the head kicks there at the end. But I think maybe the blood on the leg maybe swayed a judge or two. I don't know, dude. I thought Wonderboy clearly won round 2 and 3. I don't know, man. What's up here?
Yeah, I picked Bonfim to win, and yeah, I told you as I was I think I might have been grabbing a drink or something. I was like, yeah, Wonderboy probably won that, man. Rounds 2 and 3. I thought round 2, I thought that was cleanly Wonderboy. with the head kick and where he rocked Bonfim at the end of the second round with the head kick. And to Bonfim's credit, he did come back after getting rocked. But I still thought, even in the third round, I thought Wonderboy landed the more significant strikes. And then I thought that even the grappling that Bonfim might have done, he might have gotten one takedown, but he had no control with it, because as soon as he got Wonderboy down to the ground, Wonderboy basically built his base and got right back up when he was against the fence. So yeah, Bonfim, I thought that he fought a pretty good fight, but I didn't think he won the fight. And yeah, I definitely thought Wonderboy won, but I don't want to say a robbery, but yeah, you definitely feel for Wonderboy, because again, he's one of the fan favorites, and for him to get a loss like that, especially when you thought he should have won, it definitely sucks.
Yeah. Moving on down, Calvin Kattar, Steve Garcia. Dude, Steve Garcia just showed composure and improvement, and that he can go all 3 rounds, dude. Like, I was very impressed by Steve Garcia on Saturday. He didn't really go out there. He walked into the octagon, had, just his pants unbuttoned. Like, like they weren't all the way down to his knees, dick out, ready to swing. Like, he was just ready to go, composed. There were a few times, they kind of started swinging, but man, I was impressed by Steve Garcia, but I don't know if this is just maybe, dude, this is like Tony Ferguson downfall that Calvin Kattar's happening, dude. This is 5 losses in a row now. Like, how many before he gets cut from the UFC, dude?
Yeah, it sucks for Kattar. I'll say for Garcia, especially at 145, that dude is huge. Like, it looks like it was like he definitely looked like a 155er moving down to 145, and like Kattar looks like somebody who, he's typically a pretty big featherweight, but dude, he looked like he could have been a bantamweight compared to Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is massive. I like that he was able to stay composed, use his cardio for 3 rounds, because where he had all those first round finishes, nobody really knew if he could really go the 3-round distance and be able to win a fight, and he did that. So definitely had a lot of upside with him going forward, just as far as his talent. And Calvin Kattar, I mean, I was listening to John Anik talk, and I heard John Anik say for Calvin Kattar's next fight in the UFC, so maybe Kattar has like another fight or 2 left on his contract. That's the only thing I could think. And as you said, Tony Ferguson is really the only guy who kind of had this type of streak in the UFC before they decided
maybe BJ Penn.
I think,
yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, because I think Tony got to 7, I believe it was, before they ended up cutting him. So yeah, Kattar's right there, and Kattar's not an all-time great, but he's definitely one of the like fun fight guys. Fun fight guys, super talented. Maybe
he ain't gonna go out there and wrestle you.
Yeah. He's definitely a crowd pleaser, with his counter boxing and stuff, but he just doesn't seem to pull the trigger as much as he more, and that's really going to be the downfall of his game if he's not going to be pulling the trigger. And he ended up getting dropped in this fight as well. I think that might have been the first time in his career he got dropped. So, or at least in the UFC. So yeah, tough times for Kattar.
Yeah, man, just wild. I guess I don't think he retires, but if he did, it wouldn't surprise me, Antoine. Moving on down, we got Nate the Train in the UFC taking on Morgan, the last pirate, Charie, dude. This was a good fight. I actually think this ended up getting fight of the night, dude. Personally, in my biased opinion, I had Nate the Train up the first 2 rounds, and I thought, Nate was kind of cooking Morgan Charie. It was almost like he was standing there, like, waiting to counter, but he couldn't counter. Like, it's like every time he would fucking go to counter, he would just miss Nate the Train. And then that 3rd round, he kind of pressured Nate the Train a little bit, and then he went to counter. Nate went to put his head back, and it was against the cage, and Morgan's counter landed right on the chin, and it put Nate the Train out. Man, sad to see, but man, that Nate the Train is such a fun fighter. Like it's like win or lose, his fights are always fun as shit, and they end up being entertaining either way. But that was probably the least excited I have been during a Nate the Train fight, because like you usually see him get rocked like rocked in the beginning and then start to like work his way back up throughout the fight, and it just gets you hype. This time, like he just kind of started building throughout the fight and then just kind of like fell off a cliff because he got knocked out. Anyway, what's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, fun fight, and kind of ended up. I don't want to say the way that I kind of thought it would go, but I did tell you that I thought that Charie could get that KO late, and I think Nate Landwehr, honestly, his slogan could not have been more true. If you don't finish him, he'll probably win, because I thought at that point it was 1-1, but I still thought that Nate Landwehr's momentum was building throughout the fight. He won the second round. I thought he lost the first round, won the second round. And even there at the beginning of that third round, I'm like, man, if Charie doesn't land a big shot, I think Landwehr's going to be able to, weather the storm again and win the fight. And Charie finally landed that big bomb. I think he landed the right hand initially that hurt Nate Landwehr and got him up against the fence. And Landwehr was kind of on Bambi legs from that point on. Couldn't really get his balance. Was kind of bouncing back and forth off the fence. And then Charie came through with that right hand that connected, and then with that left that really put him out. Yeah, tough times for Landwehr as well, but dude, fun fighter. And yeah, that was a good win for Morgan Charie, because it wasn't looking good for him there at first.
Yeah. What's next for Charie, Antoine? I don't know, because this kind of puts him like in the middle of the pack. Like, you're losing to Chepe, you're losing to Nathaniel Wood, but you're beating Nathan Train. Maybe top 15, but I don't think he gets into the top 10. How about you, DRose?
Yeah, I don't think. He can maybe work his way to top 10, not in terms of like title contention or anything like that. I don't think he's quite that guy. But I think, fun fighter. I think he can be maybe a Calvin Kattar level type fighter. He can maybe work his way and get close. I don't know if I see him beating the top guys, but he's typically in a pretty fun fight. I won't say that I've seen Morgan Charie in a boring fight. Do I see limits on his game? Sure. But yeah, he's a fun striker, fun fighter, and yeah, I'll stick around and watch him as long as he's in the UFC.
Yeah. Moving on down, Vitor Patrino, Austin Lane. Vitor Patrino submits Austin Lane in the first round, 4 minutes 16 seconds. Yeah, that's all I'm really. Dude, they've got to cut Austin Lane, right?
Got to at this point, but I will say, I told you I was very impressed with Vitor Patrino. I thought the way that he's went in there and just dismantled Austin Lane on the ground. Austin Lane, I know they said he had never been submitted, and that's a credit to him. But yeah, dude, Vitor Patrino went through him like a knife through butter on the ground. And if he can be that type of threat on the ground at heavyweight, you don't really see those types of threats. He can make some noise, because the heavyweight's in desperate need of some life right now.
Yeah, and then moving on down, Tuco Toco's taking on Junior Tafa. Man, I needed this one to go to the 3-or decision so bad for Toco, dude. And it ended 4 minutes and 25 seconds of round number 2, dude. I was like, brother, I needed it, but Toco wins submission round 2. They got to cut Junior Tafa, right? Like we were just talking about this Austin Lane. They got to cut Junior Tafa right now, right?
Yeah, I told you Saturday too. I think Junior Tafa's doing his Chris Dawkins impersonation, just getting finished in all the weight classes. You had a couple of decent wins, and after that, you kind of fell off a cliff. He might have maybe one more fight, because I know when he fights in Australia, the crowd gets hyped. But other than that, I really don't see how much Junior Tafa really has left in the UFC. It seems pretty clear that once he is on his back, there's nothing that he can do to get back up. And as someone who was worried about him losing it all for me, you know what I mean? As someone who could potentially lose it all, yeah, that just frustrating to watch.
Yeah, man. You picked Tafa. You continue to pick him, huh?
Yeah. I keep picking him. I'm like, man, here's a good matchup for him. And every single time he still ends up going out there, getting taken down and getting stuff, dude. It's crazy.
Dude, Tuco looked like Khabib against them, dude. Just takedown after takedown after takedown, dude. They can cut Tafa too. All right, moving on to the prelims. We'll run through these real quick. Max Griffin, Chris Curtis. Close fight, dude. I really think it could have gone either way. I don't think anyone can be mad at the decision. I personally thought Max Griffin won, but at the same time, I did pick him to win, though. What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, I thought that close fight. I thought Chris Curtis won, but I did tell you there in the end that I thought Chris Curtis was doing too much of like the Marab stuff and trying to like trip Max and like celebrate. And it's like this fight is way too close for you to be sitting here and celebrating like you've all of a sudden won this fight. You need to put the pedal to the metal here a little bit and try to put your stamp on the fight. I thought it was really close. I thought Max Griffin won the first round. I thought Curtis won 2-3. But it was a close fight. And if Max Griffin had gotten the decision, I couldn't have been mad. But yeah, I did think that that Chris Curtis won that fight. I didn't bet Chris Curtis much as far as like money line or anything like that, because I did think this fight was close. I think in the parlay that ended up winning, I had the fight to start the third round, but I was not super confident in Chris Curtis because Max Griffin is super tough.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think Chris Curtis is evolving as a fighter. He moved to Thailand to prove his striking. I mean, he's 37. I don't know how much better he's going to get, Antoine.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get in fun fights at this point. He just doesn't cut off the cage. Like he constantly just chases the guy, and then he gets mad that they don't want to stand there and bang with him. It's like, well, buddy, learn how to get in front of them without just chasing them around the whole time. Like cut them off or something, every once in a while. But he seems to not be able to do it.
Yeah. Up next, we got Jake Matthews, Chitty, Angel Quenton. Jake Matthews wins via round 1 submission. Yeah, I thought this was a close fight. Could go either way, dude. And this was a parlay killer for me. We'll talk about parlays in just a second. So this one kind of hurt me a little bit, but not gonna lie. Yeah, dude. Does Chitty hang it up, man?
Damn. You're at that point with Chitty?
Dude, I mean, he's too small for 185. He can't make 170. If he gets taken down, he's kind of cooked either way, dude. And he's what, 36, 37?
I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, like what does he do? Chitty is, to be exact,
I thought he was like 34.
36. 36.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, if he's got a few fights left on his contract, I mean, I don't think he's cooked by any means.
Does it go down to 170?
Well, I mean, he just fought it.
He didn't make 170.
170.
He didn't make it.
Yeah, does he stay at 170 is the question. I don't think the UFC lets him at this point because he's missed 2 times in a row. Even though he got really close, you could say, hey, he was trying. He got close this time, but hey, you can't keep missing weight because I know Dana White was pretty upset with Mick the Big Oral by as well. Him missing weight, saying, hey, you need to decide what weight class you're going to fight in. I imagine they're probably having the same conversation with Chitty and Quenton, saying that you need to decide, which weight class you're going to fight in. I think he ends up fighting at 185 next, but I think Chitty ends up sticking around. I told you that I did think that I thought that Jake Matthews, he's just tough, man. I thought the best way for Chitty to win would be by finish. And I just thought it was going to be really tough for him to finish Jake Matthews because Jake Matthews, again, we talked about him before. He's super tough, man. Super tough to finish and never been finished before. So, yeah, for a reason, man. So, yeah, he's really good. He's good enough to beat the guys who aren't top 15, but it's like the top 10 guys. He just can't quite seem to get over that hump. But Jake Matthews has always been a solid fighter.
Yeah. Antoine, I would like to agree with you because I don't want to count people out just because they're old. But you're bringing up light heavyweight. And that's like light heavyweight has been like John Jones and then like the old guys. Just that's it. Yeah, so it's like I don't really want to look too far into light heavyweight. That's why it even now, dude, it's like I feel like anyone could be Ankalaev. Like the dude's going to draws via just losing by leg kicks, dude. That cannot be the champion, dude. That's just, I can't. We can't allow that. But yeah. Anyway, moving on down, dude. Lauren Murphy, Eduardo Mora. Lauren Murphy retires after, dude. But the JYD, man, we got to give her flowers, dude. She was putting the beats on Eduardo Mora there in the third round, dude. And I thought it was a close fight. The judges didn't agree with me, but shout out Lauren Murphy for always, putting up a fucking fight, no matter who it was against.
Yeah, JYD, she put up a good fight there. I mean, I thought Eduardo Mora won the first 2 rounds. I told you, even at the end of the fight, I said I thought Mora won the first 2. Lauren Murphy won the third, but super tough effort there from Lauren Murphy there in the third round to try to get back in it. Guillotine attempts, and she was boxing up more there at the end of the fight as well. So good attempt, dude. Good attempt by her, but yeah, that was cool. Mora hung on for dear life there. At the end. So yeah, I don't know how much that says about her going forward, but good win nonetheless.
Even at 125, we kind of thought maybe it was just a problem down at 115, but it kind of shows even up at 125, it's she don't got the best gas tank.
No, at all.
And then we got Kennedy versus Walter Walker, dude. I really don't even want to talk about it, if I'm going to be honest. Because it's how right was I? How much money could I? Dude, I've been thinking about this since Saturday night, dude. When I first brought it up, dude. This is how my life works, dude. It's just I don't know if it broke me, but I'm at least cracked, dude. I'm at least cracked because, man, if I wasn't the rightest person on earth when I said Walter Walker is winning this fight via round 1 heel hook, and then Walter Walker goes out there and heel hooks Kennedy in 54 seconds, I was so hype. But I put fucking $4 on it, $2.50 on it, dude. Why? Anyway, what's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, Walter Walker, man, he's looking like a guy who can make some noise. I know he said after the fight that he doesn't want to necessarily get top 10 guys just yet. He wants to kind of keep working himself up, and I can actually respect that. He's wanting to kind of take his time, but he's getting these good performances from himself. To get these heel hooks 3 in a row. I think they said the first time in heavyweight history or UFC history that the 3 heel hooks in a row. So yeah, that was a good performance from Walter Walker.
Yeah, Antoine, I literally said Matt was right out loud. That's funny. Let's see what else we got here. Antoine saying Walter got him paid. Did they cut African Savage? I don't think so. Nah. Not yet. Walter can speak English, indeed. You see what he said? Someone asked about how him and John. Yes. He's like, I don't like to talk about this because he's right here. And then showed Johnny Walker. He's like, what happened was my father come to Brazil and fuck his mother, and then go back to his other girl. 2 or 3 times fuck, and then go back to his other girl.
Damn. That's crazy. I didn't know he said that. I saw the comment on Instagram or something like that, but I didn't know that he had explained in that detail. That's wild.
He said 2 or 3 times fuck. 2 or 3 times. Anyway, Mitch Ramirez, Mike Davis, dude. Mike Davis wins round 2 TKO there. I'm glad Mike Davis won, dude, but still going forward, I don't know how comfortable I am betting Mike Davis if it's anyone that's going to give him any kind of resistance, dude, because even Mitch Ramirez had his moments in that fight, yeah?
Yeah. Mitch Ramirez, I told you during the fight, looked green, and he was still having his moments against Mike Davis, but that was a good win for Mike Davis because, hey, I don't think we've seen him fight 2 times in a year in a very long time, if ever, in the UFC. Yeah. So, yeah, good to get him in there 2 times this year. Looked like he was getting a little bit more comfortable as the fight was going. He got real explosive with a takedown attempt early. He got a big slam, and I think it kind of that lactic acid built up in his muscles, and it was just hard for him to kind of get going there in the first. But the second round, he started letting the combos fly, and then got that nasty combo on the fence for the finish. So it was a good finish for Mike Davis.
Yeah. And then the first fight of the night was Fatima Klein, or what do you call her?
Fatima Silva.
Fatima Silva. I want to say Fatima Lima. I don't know why. No, you call the one dude Tiago Lima, or what's the other dude's name? I don't know. It don't matter. Anyway, she fought Melissa Martinez, dude. She wins via a third round head kick knockout, and that was nasty. I needed that one for a parlay that didn't end up hitting, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But what's your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, no, I thought honestly, I told you, I said Melissa Martinez is making this fight a little bit closer than what I the bet line suggested, which is why we were like, why is the bet line this high? But that finish, that was a nasty finish for her to throw the head kick like that. A lot of people were calling it the Leon Edwards. She feinted the left hand, so she didn't really. It wasn't really the Leon Edwards, but it was crazy the angle that she was able to land that kick, because her leg was still kind of like. Her knee was still kind of like bent as she's throwing the kick, but just the torque that she got landed right on the chin of her opponent. I forgot her opponent's last, or Martinez.
Martinez,
yeah, landed on Martinez and put her out of there. It was a beautiful setup for the finish. So good finish for Fatima Silva, or Fatima Klein. And but yeah, no, it was a sick finish. But yeah, she struggled a little bit before she got that.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to. All right, Dave. I can't just. I gotta stop just pulling them up before I read them. I just click them. I'm like, oh, I can't read that. Well, Dave, I don't think you're far from them. I don't think you're far from them, Dave. I believe they're in the New York, New Jersey area. So maybe you can go fix their AC, if you know what I mean.
That's crazy.
Nah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, not even slightly looking. That's crazy. You got like a quarter way through and was like, oh shit.
I can't read the rest of that. I'm trying. Nah, I can't read the rest. Anyway. So speaking of parlays, DRose, before I get into this being eaten, dude, I showed you this parlay, dude, that had the first three fights of the night. Was it spot on? It was Fatima Klein, round 2, round 3 KO. It was Mitch Ramirez, round 1, round 2 KO, and then it was Walter Walker,
Mike
round
Davis.
1, round 2. Sorry. Mike Davis, round 1, round 2 KO, and then it was Walter Walker, round 1 or round 2 sub, I think, dude. The cash out on it, like with those first three fights, was already like 170, but the total payout was 76,000 or some shit like that. I'm like, nah, I'm letting it ride, and then I think like 2 fights later it falls out or some shit, dude. But is there been a time that we've watched fights together, DRose, and I haven't had one of those that I'm like, dude, look at this? Or is it like literally every single time we watch the fights?
Yeah, there is always that one,
dude. And I'd be lying if I said, dude, that's me every fucking weekend, dude. And I think this past weekend something clicked for me, and I just I've been thinking about it since then, dude. Let me ask you this, so I'm not an idiot. If I started betting $10 on all the props that I think are going to win, straight up, fuck the parlays, just $10 on every prop that I think happens, do you think I end out the night profitable?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, or at least
because they're all not going to hit, right?
You're going to have you're right. You're going to have a higher percentage, because
unless all of them does hit, and I'm like, I should have parlayed it.
That's the mind game. That's what it does, because I tell you every single time when I see a fighter that I think is going to win and I see plus money on them, I need to put money on them, because when they lose or when they win, I get so pissed, because I'm like, why did I not bet them? Why, just this past week with Derek Lewis, I had money on Derek Lewis on my parlay. I was like, I'm not going to not bet Derek Lewis. He's he's got a very good chance here, and he's such a big dog, so you definitely want to take advantage of those lines. You're going to have a higher opportunity to be up at the end of the night with that type of betting strategy, just because some of those odds you're going to get on some of those props are going to be higher than some of your 3 or 4 leg parlays. You know what I mean? And some of us, myself included, aren't scared to put $10, $15 on a 3, 4 leg parlay to try to win some money. Why not do that on a prop that you're pretty confident in? And yeah, like that. What was Walter Walker's submission
plus
round?
1,800.
Yeah, I mean, $10 on that, you win 180. I mean, that's a quick $180 you just pocketed, and you either take it and flip it, or you can just pocket the change. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely, maybe not every fight, but if you're that confident on like a Walter Walker sub round 1, you got to throw at least 5 on that or something.
Dude, I mean,
you threw 250 on it, so I probably would have done like similar to the same, because I wouldn't have been surprised if Kennedy had snuck out of that heel hook and gotten top control and ground and pounded him or something. But yeah, at least like you said, 5, maybe even 10, you'll come out profitable.
Yeah, look at Dave had him round 1 or 2, so at 1,100, 30% boost.
Damn.
Dave cashed it. I'm glad someone did out there. I'm glad someone did. So that is the picks that was the recap for this past weekend. So I got to get into some meat eating. The different picks this past weekend. The backup was Walter Walker versus Kennedy, which doesn't matter at all. I just wanted to throw it out there. That was one of the different picks. The other different pick that doesn't count was Tucos versus Tafa. That doesn't count either, but DRose picked Tafa. Anyway, the 3 that do count, unfortunately, are Chitty and Joe Kawani versus Jake Matthews. I went Chitty. DRose went Jake Matthews. Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis, where I went Max Griffin. DRose went Chris Curtis. And Austin Lane versus Vitor Patrino, where I went Austin Lane and DRose went Vitor Patrino. So you know what that means. Clean sweep, DRose. Clean sweep, man. I'm not happy about this.
Let's
Get
go.
My bag out.
It's been time for redemption for me, man.
It hasn't been long enough, actually. All right.
I've been on a little bit of a
Make sure there's no holes in here. I'm not gonna leave.
I'll even tell you, I almost lost my belt. You know what I mean? Like that's how long it's been. So even if it's just for this 1 week, it feels good to be back.
Yeah. Anyway, before we leave this card, is Derek a future Hall of Famer? I mean, he has to be with just all the knockouts.
Yeah. Most KOs in the UFC history. One of the best personalities in the sport. I heard John Anik make a comment. I listened to his podcast. He said that Derek Lewis makes north of 7 figures when he fights. So Derek Lewis making 7 mil. I mean, that's, or not 7 mil, but over $1 million when he fights. That the UFC has a lot of respect for him, and the UFC, with their Hall of Fame, they're a little loose with it. They can put whoever they want in there. So I think Derek Lewis makes it.
I feel bad for his wife, dude. Probably ground and pounded her, huh?
Probably still to this day, still doing it.
All right, probably still. He's gonna have to open her a new weave shop after this. All right, let's get into it. Bean Bop. Not sponsored, by the way, but if Bean Boozle does want to sponsor your boy, just hit us up.
It's the Bean Bop.
God, it's orange, dude. I hate when it's orange, dude. That means it's peach, barf, or dude, that one's the color of dead fish or strawberry. I don't know what color this is, dude. It's either dead fish, strawberry banana smoothie, barf, or peach. It's an orange though, dude. Oh, God. Please be a good one, dude. Why do I only get the bad beans? DRose be getting like fucking marshmallows,
licorice,
buttered popcorn,
burnt rubber,
dude. I had. I don't like it. I don't like it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in my teeth. That was for sure dead fish. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Dude, I had Nashville hot
At least
chicken
it's
for
a
dinner
terrible
too.
aftertaste. That's the problem with that fish. At least that's a terrible aftertaste. Like you can't watch it.
Dude,
I'm
I
telling
had some Nashville hot chicken for dinner, and I don't want to lose that, man.
That's gonna burn coming back up too, man. Damn.
Bean too. Oh,
It's the bean bop.
dude. What is this
And the
one?
don't stop. Is it another orange one?
It's no, it's either Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks. Stinky Socks is bad too.
It ain't that bad.
Stinky Socks ain't that bad. What's wrong with you? I mean, if it's Tutti Frutti, I'll be happy, but I feel like because it's me, it's not. Yeah,
You gotta do that
boy.
reverse psychology. I see you.
Oh, thank goodness, dude. I just want to savor this for a second.
It's bean bop. And it don't stop. Let's go.
All right, clean sweep. The third and final bean for the clean sweep is. Oh no!
Is it green?
It's the green. It's either booger or pear. I want it to be booger. No.
It's definitely going to be that booger that's underneath the student's desk at school.
Oh god, dude.
You remember that nice crusty booger that be hanging from underneath the desk at school? That's definitely what you got to take a crunch of right now.
God damn it! Please be peach, dude. I mean, what is it? Pear, peach, pear.
Pear.
Okay, thanks for.
I
telling me
never
it's gonna
had
be
the pear. I never had the pear.
Dude, that tastes good.
Oh, come on.
Dude, that tastes really good. I'm a fan. Dude, if I could get pear flavored jelly beans, dude, those would be good. All right, some reward. Some
Hey, you
reward.
talking about-
Huh?
Yeah, so you talking about me getting the good beans. You got
That's like the first time I've
ever.
ever gotten good beans.
That's the double, man. Come on. That's crazy.
Like the first time I've ever gotten good beans, dude. Wow, those are solid. I still got one. I still got a dead fish.
I never had it. I couldn't tell you because every time I get green, I get that shitty ass booger.
You know
That's
what?
crazy.
You know what, DRose? Maybe it's just meant to be because that is just what it should be. Because I should have won this past weekend. That's how it should have won. You know, I should have only lost one fight, and then that's that. Should have won the other ones.
The bean gods looked out for you this week.
Well,
We'll see how they'll do you next week.
anyway, man, you guys have been going wild in here. Let's see. Ground and brown rice. I'm serious. Anyway, DRose full box of Jelly Bellies. Yep, that's what he's got in his. There we go. Everybody, every podcast man looks more like a pirate. I'm gonna come in here with the eye patch next weekday. Ahoy, matey!
Shiver me timbers.
Give me the booty. I'm here for the booty. Dude, you can't smack, dude. First of all, you should probably be careful what you're saying. She might take offense to that and come smash you, dude.
Yeah. I mean, she basically is just her dad, but just the other gender, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she looks like.
What classes did you guys have together in middle school/high school?
I don't think we had any classes in middle school, did we?
I mean, I think me, you, and Jeremy were all on the same team. Like we had like Mr. Hill, right, as our teacher.
Yeah, but I don't think we had the same. I think we had
the same
different
class. We had one of the same classes though, for sure. Whether it was English, because it was either English or math. I don't know. We had something in middle school, and then in high school, it was just like the fun classes, like fucking wood shop and shit, right?
Yeah, and gym.
Yeah,
I
gym.
think we had gym like our junior year, I believe. So like you said, the fun classes and stuff for the most part. Nothing too serious. Like small. I think were we in like a small engine care class together? I think
Dude,
we did.
Mr. McFarland's class, yeah.
Yeah,
The fucking small
yeah,
engine Claire.
yeah.
Was it him too?
Or
Nah,
it
Mr.
was
Willis, maybe? I don't know. Fucking somebody
Yeah.
over there. Yeah, but I remember that having to fucking build the
Mr.
lawnmower
Love.
motors, dude.
Mr. Love.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yep.
Dude, high school was a fun time. I don't miss it one single bit, though.
No,
Not even
not
a
at
little
all.
bit. Not a
No.
little bit, dude.
No. As much as I hate
Fun
working
with-
now, I mean, the only thing
Yeah.
I can say I miss about high school was really just like playing football because I love playing football. But
Mhm.
other than that, yeah, I'm completely content where I'm at now.
Yeah. Fun to look back and be like, oh man, that was fun. I didn't have to worry about shit. But man, like having to follow rules sucked ass, you know? Like I wasn't a popular kid or anything like that. Like I hated that shit. All right. We're done with the bean eating. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's get into our UFC news and fight announcements, DRose. And before I pull up the regular news, let me share my screen real quick because I sent something to myself earlier because I wanted to get your opinion on this. What's your thoughts here, DRose? And this ain't fake, dude. I've seen this posted like 5-6 times, like all like in a thread on the same card. It's going to be, I think, Darren Till versus maybe Luke Rockhold on there as well on a boxing match too. But this is boxing. But Tony Ferguson's out here fighting. What is Assault Poppy?
He's out here fighting on misfit cards, dude.
Yeah. I don't even know what Assault Poppy is.
Dude, I really hope with all I know you said it's real, it's been reported, whatever. I really hope this is fake.
All right, this is the one that I just now pulled up, right? So let's just give a scroll here and see how many times we we see it pop up. Oh, Lil Wayne's gonna walk out with DP. That's pretty cool, yeah.
Now that is dope.
All right. There's Max.
Man, that was crazy.
Anyway, I've seen it a lot of times, dude.
Yeah, I just
Did you see this?
I really hope.
Did you see like the BKFC story, dude?
Like, did that dude lose to Yellow Romero in a fight or something? Or did he
No, dude. I think he was like a 135-pound fighter, I thought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he tried to hit him with the car twice and then got out and grabbed the samurai sword and chased him down. I'm like, dude, what? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Look at this real quick. Look at the source at the top.
Yes, I'm just hoping that again. I'm just hoping it's fake. I'm just trying to will it into existence at this point.
Yeah, this is on the same card right here.
Now that doesn't surprise me too much.
Yeah. Oh no, dude.
I can tell my smoking, honestly.
But what's your thoughts on the actual this one that now keeps just popping up on my face?
I don't want it to happen. I don't.
I know you don't want to, but you know that's that's what's happening, DRose.
Hey, I get it, but I just don't want it to happen. I don't. It doesn't need to happen. I mean, I wish Tony Ferguson could can find something else to do besides fighting. I know guys get into fighting, and that's what they are. That's who they are. It's hard to break that habit, but man, at this point, please, you're not. You're fighting influencers at this point to try to make money, and it's not like it's something where Darren Till, he still kind of had gas left in the tank when he left the UFC, and now he's looked pretty good since he's left the UFC. Tony Ferguson is not in that case at all. He's at the point now to where he's lost as many fights in a row as he has. I don't need to see him fight anymore at all. Let alone some influencers, man. It's tough times for Tony right now.
Jesus Christ, Antoine, I want to click that, but I'm not sure if I can click that. DRose, what's your wildest high school story? Wildest memory from high school? I don't even know, to be honest. Antoine's
wildest memory from high school? There were always like high school for me wasn't like super eventful. I mean, there were like, fights and stuff like that, or like I said, for me, there were football games I can recall where I remember my junior year, there was a school that we notoriously lost to. It was Salem, and we played them my junior year in the regular season, and we lost to them 43-45 in triple overtime. And we ended up and they were a school who beat Christiansburg
every year
a lot. And we ended up getting them back in the playoffs, and we ended up beating them at Salem, and we beat them 13-0. So yeah, we were super hyped after the game because we knew we could beat them in the regular season, but we felt like we got kind of gypped at the end when we thought we scored a touchdown and they said we didn't. So we got them back in the playoffs, and that was a super cool moment. Just one off the top of my head.
Yeah, for me, when I graduated, it was cool. I was like, thank God, I gotta do that shit no more. I gotta make a documentary about Tony just fall off a cliff, right, dude? Just absolutely nuts, man. All right, let's get into our actual news, though. Did we talk about this one last week? Like Moreno versus Royval 3. Oh yeah, I think we said Brandon's gonna win. Yeah, that's what we agreed on.
Yep.
Anyway. Wow. All right. Quick turnaround. 3 of them here, DRose. We've got Paul Craig versus Modestas Bukauskas, Raquel Pennington versus Norma Dumont, which is upsetting because give Norma that title shot, man. But anyway, and then Edgar Charies versus Alessandro Costa. What's your thoughts on those 3?
Pretty good set of fights. I think for Paul Craig, Modestas Bukauskas, I'm surprised that Paul Craig didn't try to shoot for the rematch against Meathead that he just fought. Blotto. Yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't try to call for a rematch against him, but I just think that I think Paul Craig at this point, he's fallen on hard times too, and I think for him right now, a win against anybody will do him good. And Modestas Bukauskas, he has looked better, but it is a guy who I think Paul Craig could potentially go in there and get a dub against and try to get some momentum back. So pretty decent fight. Norma Dumont, she could potentially be fighting for a title, but I think the problem is she doesn't have enough fan recognition. Almost, it's like she fights for a minute.
She started fucking wearing like a fucking truck driver costume and shit. Fucking people would be such fans of her, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, she gets on social media and she all of a sudden gets her CDLs and stuff like that. I mean, she's playing into it at this point. So, going to be more of a character for sure, but she doesn't have as much name recognition. And Pennington's a good name for her to get back in that spot. And Edgar Chaires and Costa as well. I mean, dude, that's a good fight. And Edgar Chaires has looked better in his last few fights, but Alessandro Costa, he's a tough dude, good power, and good boxing. So I think that's a good matchup.
Yeah, they for sure both train at the same gym, interim gym though. Let's see what else we got here. That's not surprising. Gervonta Davis arrested, but dude, what is it with like the boxers? They can't stop hitting their girlfriends, dude. I truly don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, let's see. What's your thoughts on this?
What do you think about
I'm not gonna pull it up. But real quick, DRose, anyone currently watching this, all 9 of y'all, I heard that if if you don't hit that like button, it means that you were on Monday. You like you were just on Twitter just searching Conor McGregor all day long. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's just what I heard. So y'all better hit that like button. Yeah.
Hey, to be fair, you were trying to send it to me, and I was like, "Yeah,
I didn't
I'm
send
good,
it
dude."
to you. I did not send it to you.
I don't know what was sent. You sent a link, and it had.
I sent you a
something-
meme. I sent you a
Okay,
meme.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I didn't know what it was, so I didn't even look at it because I didn't want it to have like one of the fake cover photos. But when you open it, it's the real
my
thing.
God.
So I was like,
I would
yeah,
not
I don't
do
want to
that
see
to
it.
you, DRose. I would not
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I was like, I do not want to see it. So,
I
I managed
sent
to
you-
duck and dodge. But I gotta imagine that Dave, being the only fan that he is himself, was probably pretty excited when that picture got leaked.
First off, I sent you an Instagram post, DRose, and it wasn't like this is exactly what it was. It says, look, come on, you thing. Load. Look, Twitter. And it's like a fucking stick with the leaf on it. Like it's just like a meme. It's like Twitter right now, and it's just a stick with the leaf on it, dude. It was wild, dude. Because I want to tell you what happened. So every morning I tend to wake up, go through my fucking messages because I usually have about 6, 7, 8, 9 people asking me what their cards are worth. Of a few legit questions, like between like Instagram, X, fucking shit like that. And clicked off of Instagram, clicked on X, dude, and that was the first fucking thing on my feed was just Conor McGregor's dick and balls, dude. And I was like, what the fuck? I scrolled to the next one, zoomed in picture of Conor McGregor's dick and balls, dude. I was like, what is going on? Like, this can't be real, right? And just my thing is, okay, it's there. Why are we reposting it? You're gonna have that on your feed forever now. Like, why do you feel the need to share it? You don't have to share it, If you like it, I guess just hit the little heart on it, but I don't feel like you need to share it because it's just going everywhere, and then you can't get rid of it. It's just everywhere. I don't think you saw it, DRose, but at this point, have you seen blurred photos, memes at least?
Yeah, I saw the blurred photo of where Azalea Banks had posted it. And again, Azalea Banks, I told you she's basically a failed rapper turned.
Yeah, I had no clue who it was.
Yeah, she's basically a failed rapper turned Twitter troll. And for Conor McGregor, out of all people, to message her, I'm like, dude, like she's a loose cannon who's always saying the most flagrant stuff on Twitter. And you think sending that to someone like her, that's not going to get posted? It just really goes to show how delusional Conor McGregor is, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the thing that Angie Hill made. It was quite hilarious. Man, Laura Sanko might have posted it, or it might have been Angie Hill. But I'm on Angie Hill's page now, and I don't see it. So let's see if it's on Laura Sanko's page.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't interested in taking a look at the pictures. I'm glad I don't use Twitter like that, so that way I didn't get caught up on that. But yeah, I'm definitely staying away from that picture.
Yeah, I don't see it here. I don't see it. Anyway, but she had like a joke. She had like a fucking kettlebell like between her legs. And she was like just working out. So shit like that, dude. It was quite funny. But I think she took it down. I don't know where it went. It was funny. I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about if any of y'all have seen it out there. But let me get the rest of our news pulled up, see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, we got a good one here. Probably for this was October 20. This is what am I doing? There we go. UFC 321. We got Alex Volkov versus Jelton Almeida targeted for I believe that's the Abu Dhabi card, yeah. That one's at 10 a.m.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I think that's probably what Volkov wants. I know he likes. I know he had mentioned fighting in Abu Dhabi at one point before as well. And I think that that's the tough matchup for Volkov. I'm a Volkov fan, but I think Jailton Almeida is the guy who if he gets a fight down to the ground, he's he's obviously shown.
Are you frozen? Oh man. I heard he's obviously shown. I heard he's obviously shown, and then you froze on me, DRose.
I know Almeida's shown a striking, but Volkov has shown that his takedown defense has been pretty good for the most part. So, but no, I think that's a good matchup and a good fight. I think if I had to guess who would be favored, I think Almeida would probably be like minus 180, 190 or so favorite.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Austin, I like that stick out.
Thank you. This is a safe space.
Dave, did you look at
Dave can lie all he wants. If he says no,
Dave's not here right now,
lie.
so Dave's not here right now. He's going to find the picture. He said no.
Nah, he's a damn lie. You a damn lie. You've seen that picture a couple times.
I just found out about it. Or what? How'd you just find out about that shit's been everywhere all week,
Nah, come on, man.
He said, I'm going to go look it up right now. Dude.
He said just because. I dare you to look at it, Dave.
Oh my goodness. I think that's probably all right. That's all.
I dare you to make it your background on your phone.
Just Conor McGregor lifting weights. Dude, have you seen Chael Sonnen's little fucking clip? Like, it's like a clip. It's like, I cannot stop staring at Conor McGregor's dick. Like, and that's all the clip says. Like, what? Let's see if I can find
I have not. But that's hilarious.
Oh man, dude, I find some of the funniest things. Oh, goodness gracious. I need to send them to myself. That's the thing.
Yeah, I follow some hip hop pages, and some of the hip hop pages were posting Azalea Banks put Conor McGregor on blast and blah blah blah, and then it had like and like you said, it had the blurred out picture, but nonetheless.
I wonder if this is it. Yep, this is it right here. This is Chael Sonnen. Wait, are you? Oh, I'm not sharing the screen, huh?
Doesn't look like it.
Who opened it on his computer?
Fuck, I have to click off of it and then go back.
I can't quit staring at Conor's dick. I can't stop. I sent Conor's dick to my partner, Ryan, who opened it on his computer right as his wife was coming in the background. And then we have to explain what's happening here. But I can't stop looking. I've stared at this dick for the last 2 hours.
No, dude, you thought I was kidding, huh? Like, there's a YouTube video where he's just fucking just ranting about how he can't stop looking at it.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Chael just be saying like anything on his YouTube channel, so I've gotten to the point where I don't even listen to him anymore. So yeah, I did miss that one.
Oh my goodness, that is funny. That is funny. All right, DRose. So let's get into the fights for this upcoming weekend. We've got a UFC pay-per-view. Is it worth $80 though? What's your thoughts?
Hell no, it's not. Not at all. I love the main event. It's a great fight. But is this card worth $80? Not a chance in the world. I mean, if you're asking me my grade, at best C+, especially when we're talking about the standard of a pay-per-view. I mean, I do think that, there's a couple of good fights that, I think they'll be good. Like the co-main event's a good fight. I think Ige Pitbull's a good fight. Some of those fights are good, but they don't really mean anything. So there's just no really story behind any of them. Not really any real rivalries, but two legends at the top of the card. That fight's really carrying the whole night.
Y'all got family in Louisiana? I do not have family in Louisiana. How about you, DRose?
Hell no.
Antoine giving it a B. Oh, God. I just seen Connor. How much weight was it lifting, Dave?
Dave's on OnlyFans looking up Connor's account now.
Oh my goodness. All right, DRose. Let's get into the fights for this weekend. This weekend, we have UFC 318, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3. I said Dorian. And then Dorian's be fighting Max on Saturday. You're like, introducing DRose. You gotta go in there and fight Max Holloway. You're about to get fucked up.
Let's go. Fight for the champ. Hey, as long as I'm getting the pay, shit, I'll go out there. If I'm getting, a couple mil to make that fight, shit, I'll go out there and get my ass kicked for a couple mil.
All right, this Saturday, 6 p.m. East Coast times, the prelims will be starting. It's going to be taking place at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. We have 14 fights to go over. It is headlined by Max Blessed Holloway versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier for the BMF title. Co-main event is Paulo Costa versus Roman Kapilov. Is this fight going to happen, DRose?
Paulo Costa, I've heard him in interviews. He seems to be pretty confident. So I think this week, contrary to what I normally believe for Paulo Costa, I think the fight happens. Unless there's some sort of weight cutting gimmicks. We've seen that happen before against Marvin Vettori. But unless if all that's under control, I think Paulo is going to be ready to actually make it come this weekend.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Anyway, moving on down, we got Kevin, the Trailblazer Holland, taking on D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez. We've got Dan, 50K Ige, taking on Patricio Pitbull Ferreira, I believe his last name is. We got Michael, the Menace Johnson, taking on the Golden Boy, Daniel Zellhuber. We got Kyler, the Matrix Phillips, taking on Loke Dog, Vinicius Oliveira. You thought I wasn't going to play it? You were wrong.
I said, do we have a problem? Huh?
Do we have a problem? I'm not going to play it. That was a video. I was like, if I'm getting the intro out, cooked up, loaded for this, I've got to get the Loke Dog cooked up and ready for this. So Vinicius Loke Dog Oliveira taking on well, why? Okay, so it's just going to stop sharing now. Okay, there it is. Vinicius Loke Dog Oliveira taking on Kyler, the Matrix Phillips. We've got Marvin, the Italian Wet Dream Vittori, taking on Brendan Allen. Do you remember when Izzy called him that? The Italian Wet Dream.
That's stupid.
Anyway, we got Francisco Prado taking on Nikolai Veretinikov. We've got Atiba Gaudier taking on Robert Valentine, Robzilla, if you will. We've got Adam Fuji taking on Islam Dulatov. We've got Jimmy, the Brute Crew, taking on Marcin Prachniau. We've got Ryan Superman Span taking on Lucas Dretsky. Bruno Ferreira takes on Jackson McVeigh, and the opening fight of the card is Crispy Carly Judice taking on Nicole Cagliari. Wow, what a fight card, DRose. Arguably the prelims are better than the main card. Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I think, like I said, there's a few fights on the main card. There's a few fights on the prelims. So, and I think some of the fights can deliver in terms of the fun factor, but again, it's not really too much other than that.
Yeah. Let's see. It's gonna knock you out there. Also, the ass eating stuff from last week had me dead. What are we talking about? I don't even remember what we were talking about last week, DRose. Do you ever talk about eating ass last week? I don't remember.
Yeah, you know what? I can barely remember what we talked about this past Saturday, let alone
Yeah,
let
I
alone what
don't
we talked
remember.
about last week on the pod.
Man, I can't, I can't remember what we talked about last week. We're on here just bullshitting every week for the most part. What'd you say about my mama? All right, heroes, let's get into these fights. First fight of the night, we have Crispy Carly Judice taking on Nicole Cagliari. Crispy Carly Judice is currently minus 325 favorite. Nicole Cagliari is plus 260, the underdog. Carly Judice is 26 years old, 5'7" and a 68-inch reach, while Nicole Cagliari is 5'3", 62-inch reach, and 28 years old. Yeah, this one, if I could 100% guarantee that Nicole wasn't going to shoot any takedowns, I would for sure, without any hesitation, pick Carly this week. DRose minus 325 is kind of a big price, not going to lie, for someone that is like Nicole Cagliari is a decent fighter, dude. Like she's not the best striker. Her game plan is to, get you down, control you, maybe submit you, dude. But she's pretty jacked, dude, and looks like she has the physicality to control a lot of these girls. But I have seen Crispy Carly Judice get taken down and pop right back up. I've seen her stuff takedowns against pretty solid fighters over and over. And then her last fight, she just came out here and head kicked Yanessa Dubin. So with that being said, don't like the price at all. I am going Crispy Carly Judice to win this fight via decision. How about you, man?
Yeah, I am with you. I don't know if I like that line so much, but as you said, Crispy Carly Judice, I know that's your girl. I've been a little bit, up and down on her in her UFC career, but she's definitely got good striking, and I think Cagliari, a solid fighter, but she's going to look to get the fight down to the ground. I think what I can see Carly doing is kind of staying on the outside, using that footwork. She's got some good boxing, so I can see her jab being a big weapon, some uppercuts. But yeah, I think Carly Judice gets the job done here. I'm gonna say by decision.
All right, me and DRose both are on Crispy Carly Judice to win this fight via decision. I'm going to change the page because I don't like it's not giving me all the info. So I have to log into Tapology real quick and go to the prediction picker page. Until then, we'll move on to the next one where we have Bruno the Hulk Ferreira taking on the Moose Jackson McVeigh. Bruno Ferreira is 13-2 overall, 32 years old, 5'10" and a 72-inch reach, while Jackson McVeigh's 6-0, 26 years old, 6'4" and a 77-inch reach. DRose, Jackson McVeigh went from being matched up against the outstanding citizen that Cedric West Dumas is, but he couldn't get his ankle monitor off because that mean judge, accused him of doing something that he did not do and just keeps him in that ankle monitor. So Jackson McVeigh does not get to have a fight a few weeks ago where he was going to be a favorite against Cedric West Dumas. Then in steps, I think Chris Ewert was his name, and he missed weight by like 10 pounds. So UFC immediately cut him. And then now I think 2 weeks later, in steps Bruno the Hulk Ferreira, dude. There's going to be a big height difference here, 5'10" to 6'4", but let's not pretend like we haven't seen Bruno fight someone that size before already as well. So I don't know what to say here, man. Especially odds are Bruno Ferreira minus 550, Jackson McVeigh is plus 410. If I had gun to my head, I have to make a play here. I'm going to take the under 1.5. It's currently minus 260. The over is plus 195. But I guess I'll go Bruno Ferreira to win this fight. Let's go first round knockout, man.
Yeah, I'll say this one's a little bit tougher. I know I don't know too much about about Jackson McVeigh here. You know, as you said, he was supposed to take the fight against Dumas, but that's about as much as I know. I mean, I know Bruno Ferreira. This is, I want to say but this wasn't short notice for him, was it? He was, or is this short notice for
I
Bruno
mean,
Ferreira?
it could be. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I would say this.
I mean, he just fought 3 months ago, so I mean, unless they
this
booked
fight
him
came
against.
together. Yeah, this one came together pretty quickly. So that betting line for him, I saw a line earlier. I think it was.
Oh yeah, here it is. Bruno Ferreira was going to fight Ikram.
Okay, so he's gonna fight Ikram. Okay, so yeah, okay. So that makes me feel a lot more confident then. And then I'll just say I'll go with Bruno Ferreira then, since he was already kind of getting ready for an opponent, a much tougher opponent. I would say he's probably a little bit fired up. He's an explosive striker. Yeah, I think Bruno Ferreira gets it done. I'm gonna say round 1 KO.
Oh. Look at the
dude, minus 620 is crazy. His money line was earlier today. It could have jumped up since then.
Yeah, it's currently minus 550 for Bruno Ferreira, plus 410 for McVeigh. Look what Antoine said. Nah, you were eating black licorice jelly beans and your friend Ash. Oh yeah, because Jeremy asked me. Because I used to like eating the fucking black licorice jelly beans, and he was like, "What do you like eating, ass?" And I was like, fucking fast forward to 10 years later, it's pretty common.
Oh yeah, no, he might have called it. Yeah, he might have called it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I think Von Miller signed with the Commanders, dude. Also, did you hear about the Commanders wanting we're not getting into that. I did not see that. Antoine, I think he's pretty old though, right?
Yeah, I think he came into the league at 13, 14, or shit, it might have been 2011 actually.
Call me old shit lips.
So he's been in the league for a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dave, I'll start calling you shit lips if you want, but I prefer to call you just Dave. Anyway, moving on. Next fight, we got Ryan Superman Spann taking on Lucas the Bull Dretsky. Ryan Spann is 22-11 out of his last 5 fights. Lost 4 of them, won 1 of them. That was to OSP 9 months ago. He is 33 years old, 6'5" and a 79-inch reach. DRose, do you remember what Ryan Spann said 9 months ago after he won this fight?
No, where he was finally training.
Exactly. Yeah. So the question is, how much better can Ryan Spann be in 9 months? Because 3 months ago, he wasn't any better.
In fact, looked exactly the same as he normally does.
Indeed. So probably not improved much at all. But anyway, he is 33 years old, 6'5" and a 79-inch reach, while Lucas Dretsky is 9'6" and 1 overall. His only win is somehow over Walter Walker, dude. But UFC debut, I say it all the time, dude. I really try not to hold fighters' UFC debut against them, dude, because I almost feel like a lot of people drop the ball in their UFC debut. It just happens, dude. Maybe the jitters, maybe a adrenaline dump. I don't know. Anyway, he lost to Mick Parkin via knockout, and then got knocked out by Kennedy 7 months ago. He is 33 years old, 6'4", and a 78.3-inch reach. I don't think he's got the power to knock Ryan Spann out, DRose. And that's saying a lot, because I might have the power to knock Ryan Spann out, DRose. and I would fight like 4 weight classes away from him. I don't want to get in a fight with Ryan Spann. I think he would for sure beat me up, without a doubt. But let me tell you, if I could hit that chin once, I like my chances. Do you think Lucas Dretsky's got the power to put Ryan Spann out, DRose?
Do I think he has the power in just strictly striking to put him out?
I mean,
no.
that's the only way he's gonna. I mean, could he wrestle him? I guess, but I think if he fucking wrestles him, he's gonna get choked out. And do you think he tries to wrestle him?
There's a chance.
In that case, give me Ryan Spann to win this fight via first round front choke, dude. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think for me, this is a tough fight. Two guys who I, notoriously have faded in the past. And even against Walter Walker, I picked Walter Walker to beat Lucas Dresky. It is what made me not really think of Walter Walker as being legit, because I'm like, man, you lost to Lucas Dresky. How good are you really? And kind of got dominated in that fight as well. So I think, yeah, good
Debut.
win. That win is angel for Dresky for sure.
Yeah.
But dude, Ryan Spann, the problem is that even when he's not chinny in the first round, he gets tired after the first round, and then he starts making bad decisions. Like, the thing for Ryan Spann, like, if looking the part of being an athlete was the only part of the fight game, like, dude, he would be a Hall of Famer, like probably 2-time division champ, if just looking the part was it, because it looks good on a speed bag, but and everything, he's physically, like, the dude's a specimen. Like, he is absolutely, like, he looks like he could be playing like football or basketball or something like that. Like, he doesn't look like a fighter necessarily, but
dude,
he'll get tired.
Here's how I kind of see it a little bit. Ryan Spann is like what Jamal Hill thinks that he looks like when he doesn't train. Like, Ryan Spann doesn't train.
Yeah, no. Because like I said, Ryan Spann looks the part. I mean, Jamal Hill looks like your old uncle at the barbecue who's had like one too many. Versus like
I used to fight back in the day. Like, okay, okay.
I was UFC champion at one point, player. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that, player.
They used to call me Sweet Dreams.
Yeah,
I'm sure, Uncle.
Yeah, but I say all that to say, I think Lucas Dresky does use wrestling, gets the fight down to the ground. I think he actually ends up. I'm going to say, I don't know if I want to say ground and pound or submission, but I think Lucas Dresky gets it done. I'm going to be going back and forth on that finishing factor between submission or decision, or between submission or KO, but I'm going to stick with submission. I'm going to go round 2, Lucas Dresky. So go take a shot on the dog here and take Lucas Dresky here.
Yeah, what are odds here? Ryan Spann minus 238, Lucas Dresky plus 195. I mean, kind of wide, plus minus 200. Yeah, man. I mean, do I trust Ryan Spann at all? Absolutely not. I don't think Lucas Dresky's got the power to put him out, if I'm going to be completely honest. And I think that's the only way he's going to get him out, is if he puts him out. Moving on. We have probably the fight that I'm most confident in on this card, and it is Jimmy Crute taking on Marcin Prachnio. Jimmy, the Brute Crute, is 12-4-2 overall. DRose, out of his last 5 fights, he has 0 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. How does that even happen, dude?
That's crazy to have 2 draws.
He is 29 years old, 6'2" and a 74-inch reach, while Marcin Prachnio is 17-8. He is out of his last 5 fights, 2 wins and 3 losses. He is 37 years old, 6'3" and a 74-inch reach. Currently, odds for the fight minus 310 for Jimmy Crute, and Marcin Prachnio is plus 250. Yeah, DRose, I'm going to be quick here. Marcin Prachnio is bad, dude. He's really not good anywhere, if I'm going to be honest. He'll leg kick you, but that's about it. He's got no chin. He looks like the Tafa brothers off of his back. Dude, Modestas Bukauskas arm triangled him from the wrong side, and he tapped. That's all I need to say. Jimmy Crute's winning this fight probably via first-round sub, man. Which way are you going here?
Man, I am very surprised that you are a guy who notoriously fades Jimmy Crute. So for you to be
But Marcin Prachnio is just bad, dude.
I do agree. I do agree with you there. But I do think that, I think Prachnio's live. I'm not going to lie.
Live to what? Win by decision? Oh, you froze on me, DRose. I think right. KO this guy. Imagine what Jimmy's going through mentally. Was that right?
No.
I know. All right, now you're
Yo,
back. Now I hear
I'm
you.
back. I'm back.
I hear you.
We back.
I don't know.
But no, you got Marcin Prachnio. He throws that like question mark kick up in close range against Modestas, but
You just keep freezing.
drives me crazy to this day because Khalil basically sat there and just watched him leg kick him for the last 2 rounds. But yeah, I do think that Jimmy Crute gets it done. I think he ends up using the wrestling, using the takedowns. I think I'm gonna say decision for Jimmy Crute.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Me and DRose both on Jimmy Crute to win this fight. So we will move on to the next one. That is Adam Fugit taking on Islam Dulatov. I'm going to be honest. I haven't researched Islam Dulatov, the Ripper, at all. No clue who he is. I think this fight maybe just got announced. I don't know if we got, oh yeah, I guess we do got odds for it. Anyway, Adam Fugit is 10-4 overall, but I know he's not good, so I'm not going to pick him. So, and out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. Win against Josh Quinlan, split decision. That's DRose's guy. Lost to Mike Malott. Win against Yashu Kinoshita. I forgot what dude's name is. Anyway, and lost to Michael Morales. He that's on LFA. Anyway, he's 36 years old, 6'1" and 77-inch reach. While the Ripper Islam Dulatov is undefeated, or I'm sorry, not undefeated, 11-1 out of his last 5 fights. He is 5-0. He was on the Contender Series 9 months ago. He won via elbow. I don't remember that. If I'm going to actually, yeah, because this dude was a model. Fucking, this was the model dude, DRose. I don't know if you remember him or not, but yeah, like they were saying how like he was like a fucking runway model. Anyway, he's 26 years old, 6'3" and a 75-inch reach. And I do remember him now, and he's got lethal fucking striking. And Adam Fugit, his face is like a magnet for punches, dude. I'm going Islam Dulatov to win this fight via, let's go second round knockout. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I remember from his Contender Series fight now, and so yeah, as you said, Adam Fugit, he notoriously gets clipped in his fights. He's a tough fighter, but man, he takes damage until he can't take it anymore. And I'm going to say Dulatov gets the finish. I'm going to say round 1 KO.
1 knockout. Okay, fair enough. Moving on to the next one. That was a quick one. We've got Atiba Gaudier taking on Robert Valentine. The silent assassin, Atiba Gaudier, 7-1 overall. He is fighting out of Cameroon. You know, if you ask the UFC, this is their first Cameroonian fighter. But don't let them lie to you. Don't forget Francis. Dude, 23 years old, dude. What kind of life has this dude had for 23 years old? Dude, someone could tell me he was 40, and I'd be like, okay. 23, man? That's wild.
I need to see it.
6'4", 6'4", and 81-inch reach, dude. Right? 81-inch reach. Robert Valentine, 10-5 overall. Had 2 UFC fights. Lost against Ryan Loder that just wrestled him, and then Torres Finney that just held him up against the fence, dude. But shout out that one judge that gave Robert Valentine that fight, dude. I need that judge judging all the fights. Anyway, Robert Valentine is 30 years old, 6'2" and a 77-inch reach. I want to pick Robzilla here, DRose, but I just think he's outgunned, man. Fucking Atiba Gaudier is just basically Francis at middleweight, man. It's like, what are you going to do to this guy? He knocked out Jose Medina that was still motioning him to bring it on while he was knocked out on the ground, man. How do you pick against that, man? So I think Robzilla is going to be tough enough to last a round, but I think by the second round, dude, he just takes too much damage and then it ends up folding, man. How about you? Which way are you going?
I'm just laughing.
Dude, he was on the ground like, is he having a seizure?
Stop asking for more. You're out. Stop asking for more. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Just wears damage, man. It's crazy. But yeah, for me, I'll keep it short and sweet. Gautier is he's super explosive. Even in the clinch, as you saw against Jose Medina, as Medina falling down, waving him on with the knee. Yeah, Gautier is dangerous, dude. And Robert Valentin, I've seen him get, I've seen him get dominated too many times. Getting held down by Torres Finney and getting knocked out
Down.
before.
He didn't get held down by Torres Finney. He got held against the fence by Torres Finney.
Yeah, either way. But yeah, I think Gautier could just have more ways to win. So I'm going to say Gautier, and I'm going to say round 1 KO.
All right. Fair enough. We will move on to the next one where we have Francisco Prado taking on Nikolai Veretennikov. Francisco Prado, 12-3 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, 2 wins, 3 losses, but only 4 of those were in the UFC where he lost to Jamie Malarkey. He did knock out Ottoman Azatar. Then he lost to Daniel Zellhuber. And then he moves up and fights Jake Matthews, where he loses via unanimous decision. He's 23 years old, 5'10", and a 69-inch reach. I don't know why he's fighting at 170, DRose, but he is. And he's fighting Nikolai Veretennikov that's had 1 UFC fight where he lost against, or had 2 UFC fights where close split decision against Danny Barlow, where Danny Barlow broke his hand on Veretennikov's face. And, dude, left hand to God, he throws heat. And then he got knocked out by Austin Vanderford, I guess, ground and pound 4 months ago, dude. But I don't know how I feel about that one. Anyway, he is 35 years old, 6'1", and a 74-inch reach. I don't think that Francisco Prado, DRose, belongs at 170. So if I know people like to say, in MMA, size doesn't matter, dude. But if skills are equal, I feel like size does matter. Like, if you're the bigger guy with the same skills, you're going to be able to outmuscle your opponent, dude. And I think that's probably what happens here, man. I just think Francisco Prado is a little bit too small, like for 170, and I just think he's able to get outmuscled. And I'm actually going to go with the dog here. I skipped the odds in the last few, but Francisco Prado minus 148, Nikolai Veretennikov plus 124. I think I'm going to go Nikolai Veretennikov to win this fight via decision, man. Just doing more control and landing the, I guess, bigger shots because he's the bigger guy here. What about you, man?
Yeah, I think this fight's it's a close fight to call. I think the line is, pretty close as it is for a reason. And I think that, both guys definitely have a path to victory. I think for Francisco Prado is to keep the fight on the feet. And I think for Veretennikov is to get the fight down to the ground. For me, I think, I think that Prado, he's got good boxing. I haven't really seen him against too many heavy takedown artists. So it's going to be, besides Jake Matthews, although Jake Matthews did pretty good in the wrestling when he wanted to use it, but Jake Matthews kept that fight standing for the most part as well, and did pretty good in the striking as well. So I think Prado's got some good striking, good boxing. Veretennikov is going to have to get the fight down to the ground. I actually like Prado in this fight, and I actually like him maybe by like a late KO type stoppage. So I think Francisco Prado can get the job done. I'm going to say by decision, but I would not be surprised if a late KO was to happen. Francisco Prado kind of walking down in the 3rd round, landing big shots, and Veretennikov ends up kind of crumpling, kind of similar to how he did against Austin Vanderford. So yeah, give me Prado here.
All right, fair enough. We'll move on to the next one where we've got the Italian Dream, Marvin Vettori taking on All In, Brendan Allen. Odds for this fight are currently plus 170 Marvin Vettori. Brendan Allen is minus 205, the favorite. Marvin Vettori, 19-7-1 overall. Haven't seen him we've seen him 3 months ago where he looked like shit, if we're going to be honest. And then before that, it was 2 years against Jared Cannonier. He's 31 years old, 6 foot, and a 74-inch reach, while All In, Brendan Allen is 24-7 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. The losses were to Fluffy Hernandez and Nasruddin Imavov, where he didn't get finished in either fight, which shows me that his defense is getting better. Anyway, he is 29 years old, 6'2", and a 75-inch reach. DRose, when this fight first got announced, I 100% expected Brendan Allen to be the dog. And him at minus 200, I am going to pick Brendan Allen to win this fight. But what am I missing where he's minus 200 here?
I think honestly, if I had to guess, it's probably just more people fading.
This is going to be boring. This is a Marvin Vettori fight. This is going to be boring.
Well, I mean, Marvin Vettori fights aren't normally boring, but they're not barn burners.
If he gets his way, it is that he's going to hold you up against the fence.
I mean, if you look at the Roman Dolidze fight, the first one, the Paulo Costa fight, the Jack Hermanson, I mean, he's had a couple fights where they've delivered, but I am with you. I don't think Brendan Allen should be anywhere near a minus 200 favorite, but I can understand why he is a favorite.
Yeah. With that being said, I think Brendan Allen is able to get Marvin Vettori down and just find the back enough to control at least once per round. I don't think he finishes Marvin Vettori just because he's pretty much unfinishable. I mean, if he did, would it surprise me though? If Brendan Allen submitted Marvin Vettori, would it surprise me? I don't think so. I might take a taste at, Brendan Allen. What's Brendan Allen's sub right now? Brendan Allen's sub DRose is +4. No shot. Brendan Allen via decision for me. The line's not big enough for +450. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't think Allen gets to finish anyway. I think Vettori's just way too tough. I think the biggest thing for me in this fight, I think Vettori's got pretty good wrestling, pretty good takedown defense, himself. But I do think that Brendan Allen is the better, probably cleaner striker of the two. I think with this being 3 rounds, I think it definitely favors Brendan Allen as well. I think if this is 5 rounds, I would definitely worry more for Brendan Allen because he does tend to fade as the fight goes. I could definitely see it being where Brendan Allen ends up kind of just being the better athlete in the first 2 rounds, landing big shots, and then Vettori kind of comes back storming in the 3rd round. Not maybe, getting close to getting a finish, but you could see where, Vettori clearly wins the 3rd round. But I do think that Brendan Allen ends up getting it done. I'm going to say by decision.
Fair enough. First one me and you agreed fully on so far. Round and all.
There we go.
All right.
Maybe a trend to come.
All right. Next fight of the night, we've got Kyler, the Matrix Phillips, taking on Vinicius, Loke Dog Oliveira. The Matrix, Kyler Phillips, is 12-3 overall out of his last 5 fights. He is 3 wins and 2 losses. Lost to Raulian Paiva, win against Marcelo Rojo, win against Hania Barcelos, win against Pedro Munoz, then lost to Rob Font. Kyler's 30 years old, 5'8" and a 72-inch reach. Wow. Vinicius.
I said, do we have a talent?
While Vinicius, the Loke Dog Oliveira, is 22-3 overall, 29 years old, 5'9" and a 70.5-inch reach. Out of his last 5 fights, he's 5-0, and he's beat Said Nurmagomedov, Ricky Simone, and Bernardo Sopai. He also flying knee to dude, or I'm sorry, left hook to dude on the Contender Series. How do I start off here, DRose? If this was a 7-minute fight, I'd pick Kyler to win. But it's not a 7-minute fight. And judges tend to favor those last. If you do better in the end of a round than the beginning of the round, they tend to favor that end of the round just because it's a little bit fresher in their minds, dude. And with that being said, I think we know what we have with Kyler Phillips here. He's going to win that first round. But past that first round, dude, it's, all bets are off, dude, because once that 3-minute mark passes in that second round, dude, he's ready to go home. He's looking for the door, ready to pack that shit up because he don't have nothing left. And that 3rd round, dude, it's not a good look. And if you're in there gassed against Loke Dog, dude, shit, dude, he might finish you. And he wouldn't be the first 3rd round finish he has, dude. I've seen him just lose the first 2 rounds and then come back and just clobber these dudes. So I truly think that's probably what happens, dude. I think Kyler Phillips maybe wins the first round and a half, but later on in the fight, into round 2, early round 3, we see a Vinicius Low Dog Oliveira just able to track Kyler Phillips down and just put the beats on him, dude. Whether it's flying knee, hook, whether it's fucking guillotine, whatever it is, I think Vinicius Oliveira gets that third round finish. What about you, man?
Yeah, Oliveira, man, he's dangerous. He's a fun fighter, and I think for Kyler Phillips, he's explosive. Good athlete. I think if we're just looking at them just hitting pads, like you'd be like, oh man, Kyler Phillips is the better fighter because you got pretty spinning kicks. Good boxing for the most part. He looks good on the pads. But I'm with you in terms of that gas tank, man. He tends to dip off after that first round, man, and it looks a little bit tough. Where to me, I think Vinicius Oliveira gets better as the fight goes. I mean, you can go back to even like that Said Nurmagomedov fight. I mean, I thought the last 2 rounds, Said Nurmagomedov was hanging on for dear life to not get finished there in that third round because, I mean, Vinicius Oliveira was putting it on him. I love the way that he fights. He's super aggressive. It might not be the most technical striking for Vinicius Oliveira, but it's super effective. He's got those wide rangy hooks. His leg kicks are nasty. He's got that when he stands in orthodox position, he's got that leg kick, that rear leg kick, and then he comes up with the left hook off the top of it. It's such a nasty combo the way he sets it up, and he lands it almost every time in every fight. So, yeah, I'm going to go Low Dog here. I'm going to go by decision. Kyler Phillips, one thing I will give him, even though his gas tank is not the greatest.
Just the picture there.
He is now Kyler Phillips is super tough, man. So he's gonna be hard to finish. But I think Vinicius Oliveira, I think he's going to be the bigger brute of the two and just land the more significant shots. And Oliveira gets it done by decision.
Yeah. Odds for the fight, plus 124 Kyler Phillips. Vinicius Oliveira, minus 148. So he ain't even a huge favorite. But I think that might be the first time ever that I've seen Kyler Phillips as the dog, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen him as the underdog. And then vice versa. I think all 3 times we've seen like Vinicius in the UFC now, he's been a dog.
Yeah. Well, I think so pie. I don't think, yeah. And well, yeah, I'd have to look back because I couldn't remember if he was against Said either.
Thought he was young.
But Sapai, he definitely was a favorite because Sapai took it on short notice.
Low Dog, 29 years old. Yeah, I mean, he's not even 30 yet. Anyway, moving on to the next one. We got Michael, the Menace Johnson, taking on the Golden Boy, Daniel Zellhuber. Michael Johnson, 23-19, and no, out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. He's 39 years old, 5'10", and a 73-inch reach. While Daniel Zellhuber, the Golden Boy, is 15-2 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins and 2 losses. Last loss 9 months ago to Esteban Robovic via split decision. Fun fight, though. He is 26 years old, 6'1", and a 77-inch reach. I'm just going to say it like this. Michael Johnson will probably look good until I think he starts showing his age a little bit here, DRose, because he's probably the faster fighter, hand speed of the 2 here. But I think him trying to cover the distance is probably going to be an issue, and I think he's just going to get lit up with that jab. I don't know if Daniel Zellhuber knocks out Michael Johnson, so I'm going to go Daniel Zellhuber to win this fight via decision. Just keeping a good distance, just jabbing up Michael Johnson, just over and over, and just, MJ just can't really, get in to do his work. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think I think the bet line is way too far.
We'll see.
Yeah,
What is it? Oh, plus 425 Johnson, minus 575 Zellhuber. Yeah, that's pretty wide apart.
Yeah, that line is crazy. Zellhuber, I mean, coming off of a banger of a fight against Esteban Robovic, but he was a pretty big favorite coming off that Esteban Robovic fight too, and he ended up losing that fight. So, Michael Johnson, he's looked better in his last few fights, although he has been fighting competition, maybe not as tough as Zellhuber. I think he had the Ottoman and Zaitar win. I believe that was his last one, which was a good knockout for him. But it was something that, Zaitar basically only knows one way to fight, and that's to go forward. It was a tailor-made matchup for Michael Johnson.
Like Darius Flowers' fight too was Like, come on now.
Yeah, and we know how good Darius Flowers is. So
and
I think,
he even hurt Michael Johnson in that third round too.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, I think Zell Hooper gets it done here. I think, Michael Johnson, the biggest thing, he's so inconsistent because if he always fought to the top of his potential, he'd be one of the most dangerous guys in the division, but he's always very inconsistent. And I think Zell Hooper can keep the range with his teeps and his jab. I think Zell Hooper gets it done by decision.
Fair enough. Me as well. Moving on to the next one where you got Dan 50K Ige taking on Patricio Pitbull. Dan 50K Ige is 19-9 overall out of his last 5 fights. He has 3 losses and 2 wins. Lost to Bryce Mitchell, win against Andre Feely, lost to Diego Lopez, lost against Lerone Murphy, and then he did win 2 months ago against Sean. Dude, that was only 2 months ago. It feels like forever ago at this point against Sean Woodson. He is 33 years old, 5'7" and a 71-inch reach, while Pitbull is 36-8 overall, has had 1 UFC fight against Yair Rodriguez where he lost via decision. He is 38 years old, 5'6" and a 65-inch reach. Yeah, DRose, I don't know if I learned anything from him fighting Yair at all, if I'm going to be completely honest. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you fought how I thought you were going to fight, like Michael Chandler, but you can wrestle, you just don't. I think for Pitbull to win here, he needs to take Dan Ige down. But do I think he takes Dan Ige down? I don't, dude. And I think Dan Ige just probably mollywops him all 3 rounds, and we get Dan Ige via decision. What's your thoughts here?
I think for me, I think the biggest thing that I learned from the Yair Rodriguez fight for Pitbull is that he's washed at this point, man. I mean, 38 years old, fighting in one of the toughest divisions in the sport, fighting a bunch of younger guys as well. I just think it's going to be a tough time for Pitbull. I did pick him to beat Yair. I thought, if anything, that was probably going to be, in terms of one of the top guys in the division, that would probably be the easiest matchup for Pitbull. But he didn't even try to wrestle until late in the fight, and Yair was, pretty much so ahead at that point that it really didn't matter, and he was able to stuff the takedowns anyway. So, yeah, I just think it's it's going to be tough sledding for Pitbull here. Danny Ige is a sharp counter boxer. He got good takedown defense. Now, I will say, when he does get taken down, he does get comfortable off his back because he believes in his jiu-jitsu. But he was able to get up a couple of times against Diego Lopez as well when he was getting taken down in certain portions in that fight. So I do think that Danny Ige's got the tools to get it done. I think he gets it done. Pitbull's super tough, so not that he's impossible to finish, but Danny Ige is a little bit more measured here as of late as well. I think he gets it done by decision.
Fair enough. Odds for that one, minus 218 for Danny Ige, and Pitbull is plus 180. Moving on to the next one, where we have the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland, taking on D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez. Kevin Holland is 28-13 overall out of his last 5 fights, won 3, lost 2. He is 32 years old, 6'3" and an 81-inch reach, while Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod, is 19-5 overall out of his last 5 fights, 2 wins and 3 losses. He did win his last 2 against Santiago Ponzinibbio and Alex Moreno. He is 38 years old, 6'1" and a 74-inch reach. DRose, the odds for the fight, these are like one of the few that I did see before the podcast. Minus 550 for Kevin Holland and plus 410 for D-Rod. I mean, I'm a Kevin Holland fan, and I'm going to pick Kevin Holland because I always do. I don't know if he's had a fight where I haven't picked him, if I'm going to be completely honest. But or maybe the Hamzat fight. But I don't even think we did like the podcast after the whole fucking situation happened. So I still probably fucking picked Kevin Holland to beat. Who was he fighting?
D-Rod.
Yeah,
He was
I still
supposed to fight
beat D-Rod. Yeah. So, yeah, I think he wins, dude. But D-Rod is tough, and this is one of those matches that. It wouldn't surprise me if both fighters came in at like 175 and they come out here and they have a sparring match. But on embedded, dude, Kevin Holland is looking quick. I don't know what it is about him, but he's looking real fast. And I like that because, D-Rod's, let's be honest, he's slowing down, dude. So I'm going to go Kevin Holland to just to just beat the brakes off of D-Rod for all 3 rounds. I don't think he knocks him out, and I don't even think he tries to take him down, which pretty much leaves no room for submissions there. So I'm going to go Kevin Holland via decision. I hate the odds. I guess Kevin Holland to win via decision is currently Kevin Holland via decision is plus 240. Not the worst price in the world. So Kevin Holland by knockout is the most likely option, plus 175. But I think he wins via decision. How about you, DRose?
Yeah, I think the betting line way too high for Kevin Holland. Minus 500 is crazy, considering the fact that, you know, we were just talking, or, you know, myself talking not too long ago about how inconsistent that he's been. But he has looked better in his last few fights. I think even before I would have picked Kevin Holland to win, you know, even the whole Hamzat missing all the weight, fight week and all that stuff, I still would have picked Kevin Holland to win anyway. I'm definitely going to pick him at this point in time now. I think the D-Rod is just a little bit slower. I thought there were points in that Santiago fight where I thought Santiago was winning, and, you know, D-Rod kind of really needed a finish there late to kind of get it done. You know, it was 1-1 going into the third, and I thought, you know, Santiago was having moments there. But I think Kevin Holland can get it done. I'm actually going to go Kevin Holland by submission. You know, right now you can actually get the line on FanDuel at plus 320 just for straight up submission. I think Kevin Holland can get one of those front chokes, similar to like how Neil Magny got it on D-Rod as well. And Kevin Holland, I think he can kind of put it on D-Rod on the feet. D-Rod might try to shoot for like a desperation takedown, and Kevin Holland just kind of locks it up. Let's go Kevin Holland. I'm going to go round 2 submission.
All right. Both on Kevin Holland. Now that we're in the middle of it, how do you feel about the pay-per-view? Still not worth $80,
At all.
All right. We got 2 fights left. Co-main event. As crazy as it sounds, we've got the Eraser, Bohashinya, Paulo Costa taking on Roman, Chase Hooper's big brother, Kopylov. Anyway, we got Paulo Costa's 14-4 overall out of his last 5 fights. He's lost 4 of them, won 1 of them over Luke Rockhold. But the Robert Whittaker fight, that was pretty close. And then Sean Strickland fight, I think he gave Sean Strickland a pretty good fight. I mean, it did go to a split decision. So, I mean, it was a good fight. So I don't think that Paulo Costa is washed by any means, but I think his level of competition has a lot to do with, you know, the outcome of his fights for the most part. With that being said, he is 34 years old, 6'1" and a 72-inch reach, while Roman Kopylov is 14-3 overall out of his last fights. The exact opposite, 4 wins and 1 loss. His loss was to Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and, you know, we know what Fluffy does. Anyway, Roman's 34 years old, 6 foot, and a 75-inch reach. Currently, odds for the fight are plus 195 for Paulo Costa. Roman Kopylov is minus 238. I think this is a step down in competition for Paulo Costa, DRose, and I know you're probably going to say this. You pick Roman Kopylov all the time. I know. I do pick Roman Kopylov all the time. I don't think I'm going to this week. I think something tells me that Paulo Costa wins this fight. Partially because he's going to make it to the octagon, so that's half the battle. But if we're going to be real, like, the levels here that these fighters have, you know, fought and probably beat, to be honest, are not even really the same. So I think I'm going to go Paulo Costa. I'm going to go Paulo Costa to win this fight via decision. Round 3 might be sketchy because, once again, I heard him talking. He's like, I'm going back to the old Paulo. I'm going to be so aggressive in the first few rounds. I'm going to get him out of there. But, you know, when he can't get him out of there, what happens? Can he survive the third? I hope so. Let's go Paulo Costa to win the first 2 rounds and then not get finished in the third and then win by decision. What about you, DRose?
Yeah, I can definitely see your point for Paulo Costa having the higher level of competition. Where Roman Kopylov, where I think he's fought good UFC competition up at this point, but, you know, Paulo Costa has fought a couple different champions at this point in time. So, you know, his level of competition has been a little bit higher in his fights, but he has lost most, or actually, well, let's say all of them, because even the Luke Rockhold fight that he won, there were moments where Luke Rockhold was looking good there. In the third round, honestly, that fight could have kind of went up in the air to where I thought Luke Rocco could have won. Costa had to kind of hold on with the takedown in order to get the win in that fight, where I think Roman Kapilov has kind of looked better in each fight, looking better with the striking. He's gotten better with the takedowns. I do think that he probably needs to stay away from the takedowns. You know, you go back to that Cesar Almeida fight, and Roman Kapilov was hanging on for dear life because he got himself tired from the wrestling. So I think as long as he stays away from that, I think Roman Kapilov, the better striker of the two. Costa, you know, he's got such a short reach. It's going to be hard for him to kind of get within that range. You know, Kapilov is a sharp striker, southpaw, where Costa has kind of struggled with from time to time. So give me Roman Kapilov. I think it's actually going to end up being a pretty fun fight though. But I say Kapilov by decision is the way to go.
All right, somebody by this. Connor Taylor made now. I can't stop looking at this thing. Oh my goodness. All right. And I think Antoine has something. Can Kevin chase a title welterweight? He's always been talented. Would he get out muscled? I think he's going to struggle against the top three, but I do think Kevin Holland is one of the top welterweights in the world, and I've been saying that for a little bit now. We just need to see him down at like fucking down at 170 consistently. Main event time.
I don't think Kevin Holland cares. If I'm being honest, I don't think he really cares about the title.
Probably not. Yeah. All right. Main event time. If y'all haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. We got Max Blessed Holloway taking on Dustin, the Diamond Poirier. Not one, not two, but three. Third time's the charm. Max is getting it done this week. Anyway, we got Max Blessed Holloway. He is 26-8 overall out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. Lost to Ilya and then lost to Volk 3 years ago. But in between, he beat Arnold Allen, he beat Korean Zombie, and he beat Justin Gaethje up at 155. Anyway, he is 33 years old, 5'11", and a 69-inch reach, while Dustin, the Diamond Poirier, is 30-9 overall, alternating wins and losses. Lost to Charles Oliveira, win against Michael Chandler, lost to Justin Gaethje, win against BSD, and then lost to Islam a year ago. He is 36 years old, 5'9", and a 73-inch reach. Yeah, man, I know me and you are split here. You know which way I'm going. I know which way you're going. I just want it to be a good fight. I'm a fan of both fighters, but I just think that Max at 155, a legit 155, not short notice 155, has put on some size, and he has some power that he didn't have down at 145. So I think this is 5 rounds, and this is the BMF title, dude. Somebody has got to go to sleep here, right? Actually, they don't have to go to sleep, but I'm just picking Max Holloway to knock out Dustin in the third round. But if it goes the other way, I suspect Dustin to win via decision. How about you, DRose?
Yeah, I think it's a fun fight. You know, we've obviously gone back and forth on this for multiple times. I'm going to go Poirier by decision here. You know, 2 legends of the fight game, and, you know, Dustin Poirier, a guy who's, you know, going into his last fight, you know, he's stated multiple times that he doesn't care what's going to happen, that he's going to, you know, call it quits after this, win, lose, or draw, which is, you know.
But tell us what you think.
But I do believe that whether he takes the fight or not, I don't know. But I do think that Poirier ends up winning, and I think the UFC is going to beg Poirier to take a fight against Ilia Topuria, because I 100% see Ilia Topuria calling Dustin Poirier out after the fight. It's a fresh matchup that Ilia Topuria has not fought. One of the bigger names in the division. He'll have a little bit of momentum. And I think the UFC is going to back up the Brinks truck to try to get Dustin Poirier to come back and take that fight. Whether he does or not, it's still going to be left to be determined. I want to see how Dustin kind of reacts after the fight Saturday before I, you know, truly make my decision on if I think Dustin comes back or not. But I think the UFC is definitely going to try to make that fight happen between Dustin Poirier and Ilia Topuria.
Nice. Okay. Well, that is it. That is all the picks for every fight on the card. We gave you the news for the week. What we haven't gave you yet, though, is one of my favorite things. The fisting of the week, DRose. Who gets fisted this weekend?
Robert Valentin gets fisted by Atiba Gautier.
oh, man, I don't want that to happen, but that's probably likely.
I mean, I feel good about Vinicius Oliveira winning, but I don't think he gets a finish.
Yeah, and if so, I do think it'll be a little bit later. Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
we can say Dulatov versus Adam Fugit. I would say between the two.
Nah, let's go Atiba Gaudier via knockouts minus 250.
I mean, was Dulatov my knockout?
I don't think I have.
My name, line my name be up, but
yeah. Oh, yep. It actually is. Dulatov by knockout is minus 185.
Damn, so not much better.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. Why is this a tough one? Why don't we go Jimmy Crute to fucking fist Marcin Prachnio? Like, whether it's fucking via choke or fucking via fisting. Or do you think he fucking wins via decision?
I think he wins via decision. And honestly, I don't. Do we trust to put the streak on Jimmy Crute?
I mean, what streak? What streak? This shit hits no matter what. As soon as we call it, this shit hits. This ain't no streak. This shit's hitting.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as we say it, it hits.
I mean, again,
Atiba Gaudier is the fisting of the week. But I mean, it's minus 250. You got to parlay the prop at this point. Good luck, y'all. That's the fisting of the week. Atiba Gaudier to fist Robert Valentin. Yeah, upsetting because I do like Robert Valentin. Atiba Gaudier is another animal, dude. Which leaves us one thing left, DRose. You've been picking these fights these past few weeks, and I'm not mad at you at your picks because you've been just picking terribly, and I'm all right with that because when you make terrible picks, I don't have to eat the beans. But this week, DRose, how many different picks do we have for this pay-per-view?
I believe we have exactly 5.
We have 4. We have 4 different picks for the pay-per-view. The different picks are Ryan Spann versus Lucas Dretsky, Nikolai Veretennikov versus Francisco Prado, Paulo Costa versus Roman Kapilov, and then Max versus Dustin in the main. So any hint which one I'm throwing off of there?
The main event.
Nope. Francisco Prado versus Veretennikov. It's just one where it's just one where it's like I don't really think I care too much what happens. I'm not really I don't feel anything. Do I think Ryan Spann can go out there and choke out fucking Lucas Dretsky in the first round? Yes, 100%. Do I think Paulo Costa can win enough minutes against Roman Kapilov? Yes, I do. And by then, I cashed it. It don't even matter what happens in the main. And that's how I feel about it. So that's our 3 different picks for this upcoming weekend. Ryan Spann versus Lucas Dretsky, Paulo Costa versus Roman Kapilov, and Max versus Dustin, where I'm on Ryan Spann, Paulo Costa, and Max, and DRose is on Lucas Dretsky, Roman Kapilov, and Dustin Poirier. Fun fights. You ready to eat some beans next week, DRose?
Man, I feel bad for you. You know, this belt's gonna get comfortable up here for a little bit, at least for another week, because I feel good about those picks.
You're like, at least till football season starts, and then I don't care.
Let's go.
Oh goodness! All right, y'all.
No, we locked in all year.
All right, Antoine. How do you guys feel about the White House event? I don't know if I believe it's going to happen. I mean, if it does, it'll be cool. It seems like a logistical nightmare to get all of everything set up. Before we leave, how's life been treating you? I got some stuff in the works, Antoine. I don't want to say too much about it, but I'm just trying to get shit done, dude. Just trying to get shit done, man. I'm making it, I guess. I don't know. I'm making it. That's how I feel. I'm alive still. I guess that's how I feel. We here. We here. Anyway, with that being said, anything before we get out of here, DRose?
No, man. I think good to go. Good pod this week. We'll swing back around. Be back on Change the Cheddar on Friday because there are some picks that that I feel pretty good about. And, you know,
Speaking of picks,
we got some bets
have you
to
seen
talk about.
Connor's? Have you seen Connor's picture?
Not a chance. But I know Dave looking for that OnlyFans link now.
I don't think so, dude. I think he's just free and out there. I don't think you got to pay for it. I think it's just...
Nah, he wants the extra stuff, like the behind the scenes.
I'm not even going to make that joke. Anyway, with that being said, we appreciate you guys for stopping by here, hanging out with us here tonight. Please hit that thumbs up button. And if you don't, it means you like the Conor McGregor picture and you would rather look at it than hit the thumbs up button. That's just the rumor that I've heard. I'm about to send this pic to DRose.
Dave has taken his like off of the video so he can continue looking at the picture.
Right? Oh, goodness. All right. We appreciate you, Anton, for stopping by here every week, brother, being one of the regulars. So with that being said, we appreciate y'all for stopping by here, hanging out with us here tonight, Matt and DRose over on the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. This was number 167. You can catch me Friday right back here for Change the Cheddar. And then, right back here next Wednesday for next week's card because we are in the middle of a stretch right now, DRose, and there's some good fights coming up.
Yeah, no, some good fights coming up the next few weeks. And again, I'm super excited for that Hamza DDP fight come next month. So we'll be super excited for that. And hey, we'll be here every step of the way to document these fights, man. And you know, like I said, Change the Chat on Friday, and then you know, I figured you probably want to do a fight companion on Saturday, so we could do that and lock in the week, and we'll be ready to go.
Hell yeah. Do you guys think UFC will ever be as big as NBA NFL?
No. I think the NBA. I think they're more
MLB. I think it's. Dude, I don't know who watches baseball, but apparently it's still a thing. Like, I would argue maybe UFC is close to MLB, but at the same time, it's like, dude, a lot of people, I guess, still watch baseball. I have no clue.
Yeah, people still watch baseball. I don't think the UFC is up there with like I would say like the three kings, or you would say the four kings, I guess, would be football, basketball, baseball, hockey. But I mean, I think at the same time, I think the UFC has grown more in America than the NBA has over the last few years, for sure. I think the NBA in America has lost a lot of interest, where I think the UFC has kind of came in and kind of filled that void a little bit. But I just think globally, basketball will always be a bigger sport than the UFC. And I think the NFL is just king, period.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, y'all. Well, that's it. Me and DRose will catch you guys right back here Friday for Change of Cheddar. I didn't say he was going to be here because I forgot. We just talked about the whole pay-per-view, and I forgot it was already a pay-per-view, so I didn't think about you being here Friday for Change the Cheddar. All right, but nothing else from me, nothing else from DRose. Me and DRose will catch you here Friday for Change of Cheddar. And with that being said, we hope you all have a fantastic evening. Have a good night's sleep, and don't forget that if you go to bed with an itchy butt, you're going to wake up with smelly fingers. Me and DRose will catch you guys Friday. Peace.